The world's most powerful double-engine coverage, where access meets expertise. Davos Brainstorm, 19th to 23rd January. Only on India Today and Business Today.
From overnight global cues to live Dalal Street moves, we decode what matters for your money today. From stocks to sectors to the top business news, we've got your morning game plan covered. Watch me, Aabha Bakaya, as I bring you the opening bell action Monday to Fridays, 9:05 a.m. only on India Today.
The world's most powerful double-engine coverage, where access meets expertise. Davos Brainstorm, 19th to 23rd January. Only on India Today and Business Today.
From how the markets move today to what's setting the stage for tomorrow. From tariffs to taxes, mutual funds to your daily stock queries. Join me as I decode the biggest wealth-creating ideas for you at the closing bell. Watch me as I bring to you the Business Today show every weekday at 3 p.m. only on India Today.
The world's most powerful double-engine coverage, where access meets expertise. Davos Brainstorm, 19th to 23rd January. Only on India Today and Business Today.
From overnight global cues to live Dalal Street moves, we decode what matters for your money today. From stocks to sectors to the top business news, we've got your morning game plan covered. Watch me, Aabha Bakaya, as I bring you the opening bell action Monday to Fridays, 9:05 a.m. only on India Today.
The world's most powerful double-engine coverage, where access meets expertise. Davos Brainstorm, 19th to 23rd January. Only on India Today and Business Today.
From how the markets move today to what's setting the stage for tomorrow. From tariffs to taxes, mutual funds to your daily stock queries. Join me as I decode the biggest wealth-creating ideas for you at the closing bell. Watch me as I bring to you the Business Today show every weekday at 3 p.m. only on India Today.
The world's most powerful double-engine coverage, where access meets expertise. Davos Brainstorm, 19th to 23rd January. Only on India Today and Business Today.
Morning and welcome. You're with us on Business Today, just after 9. We're here to get you all the market opening action. Let's take a look at what's hot in the corporate and financial world this morning. US stock market futures are down after President Donald Trump revived tariff threats against NATO allies, warning of levies from 1st of February over Greenland. Wall Street cash markets are shut today due to a public holiday after closing lower on Friday. Markets track reaction to Q3 numbers as Reliance Industries posts 11% revenue growth with 5% year-on-year rise in ARPUs for Jio. ICICI Bank reports a 4% fall in net profit, while HDFC Bank sees double-digit loan growth with asset quality stable. Earnings season gathers pace this week. Around 120 companies set to report Q3 earnings across the Nifty and broader markets. Big names include Kotak Mahindra Bank, Ultratech, Dr. Reddy's, Eternal and Interglobe Aviation, while BHEL, CEAT and Hindustan Zinc announced numbers today. Bharat Coking Coal IPO will list today amid strong grey market buzz. The issue saw a blockbuster investor response, subscribed a massive 147 times. Priced at 23 rupees a share, all eyes are now on potential listing gains as trading begins. It's going to be a Trump-dominated Davos this year at the World Economic Forum annual meeting as global leaders set the stage to discuss the issues that matter most to the world. Catch live mega coverage of Davos 2026 on India Today and on Business Today. All right, let's take a look at the setup. As we mentioned, US shut. Let's take a look at Asia, of course. In the backdrop, you've got continuing geopolitical factors that continue to be at play. All the, action around Greenland and Trump's threats on tariffs to NATO allies. Let's pull up Asia this morning for you, see what it's indicating, and then, of course, the pre-open ticks. Davos is the big international conference that we'll be eyeing, as we just mentioned, for all kinds of dialogue, sentiment, and direction that we may hear from global leaders. Back home, however, earnings really will occupy mind space this week. We've got all the action heating up and some of the big heavyweights that have reported earnings as well, watching what kind of direction they're setting for the market and really what it's looking like in the first quarter this year. We're joined by Shailendra Bhatnagar as well as our guest this morning, Avinash Gorakshakar, founder, Avinash Mentor Research. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome. Let me first get the market set up from both of you. Avinash, what's it looking like as we head into another so far quiet indication from the pre-open? Another week, but no clear runaway trigger as yet, as the world is in wait and watch mode.
Yeah, good morning, Aabha. I think markets are going to remain volatile, largely because of the fact that now Donald Trump has imposed a new tariff, for countries who don't agree with him on the Greenland issue. I think this is definitely going to spoil the market sentiment in the near term. In fact, the markets possibly could open with a weak opening. But I think overall, markets are going to focus on earnings. I think we saw the numbers from HDFC Bank, Reliance. I think clearly this is also going to be our earnings heavy week. So I think action will be on companies, which post decent numbers, give good commentaries. So I think the markets would be more stock specific, Aabha. Although the broad sentiment is going to be weak, I think we'll have to see how the market takes this global event. But definitely, I think volatility is going to increase because Europe is also gunning for a massive tariff kind of answer to Donald Trump's tariff. And that definitely is not good for the overall market sentiment. So I think only stock specific moves would be relevant. And I think if any companies show, better than expectation numbers, then you're going to see a lot of stock specific activity. So I think investors need to focus specific on stocks. And I think the market would obviously trade with a negative bias today.
Okay, a slight negative bias. That's what Avinash is factoring in. Shell, good morning. At a time like this, and we've been watching the way metals have been soaring, I wonder if that's the only pocket to focus on.
Well, Aabha, good morning to you. A very warm welcome to Avinash. And this is the start of a fresh week. And we are in the second fortnight of January. We are leading into the budget. So lots and lots of breakouts are happening in sectors such as capital markets, especially in the IT sector. There is a lot of strength developing at these multi-week lows. PSU banks are on fire. Mid-cap financial services sector is doing immensely well. And who can forget metals, which have outperformed the broader market over the last 3 months or so. So that's my catchment. I am not looking at Mr. Trump. I am not looking at any macro development. There are opportunities galore to be on the long side in the market. And we should be focusing on them to build up money. But yes, what Avinash said on the broader markets, that they should be under pressure because of developments on Greenland. And of course, Davos being the point of focus as far as global news is concerned. That point is taken. But lots and lots of underlying strength coming in the market, and we should be focusing on that.
All right. Well, there were lots of key earnings as well. So let's pull that up for you. Citi on Reliance with a buy call, target of 1,815. While the consolidated EBITDA has been a touch below estimates, retail growth has also moderated. But geo revenue, that's really one area of focus, as well as new energy plans that are also advancing. So they do see limited downside in the short term. So on Reliance, a fairly aggressive target coming in there. Jefferies on ICICI Bank has also maintained their buy. The profit, they say, was a miss due to agri provisions and the labor law impact. Loan growth has improved and unsecured retail loans remain soft, so asset quality is stable. And CEO Sandeep Bakshi has also been granted a 2-year extension, and that's reassuring to the markets. So Jefferies has actually raised their target price to 1,730, continue to be very bullish on ICICI Bank. Meanwhile, CLSA on HDFC Bank has maintained their outperform as well, target 1,200. QFY 26 PBT is 5% above estimate, and that's driven by inline PPOP and lower credit costs as well. And in fact, core PPOP is 2% above estimate on better NIM, that's net interest margins, as well as cost control. In fact, NIMs expanded 8 bips quarter on quarter due to both the lower deposit cost and the CRR, the cash reserve ratio cut benefit. And gross advances also grew about 2.7% Q on Q. That's versus an estimate of 4%. But they overall continue to be fairly bullish on HDFC Bank, above estimate numbers coming in there, and expansion in NIMs as well. So those are the 3 key earnings we're tracking right now. In pre-open, we're not really seeing too much activity at this point of time, but let's see as markets kick off whether we see any reaction. And also keep an eye on IT, because those numbers have also positively surprised. Tech Mahindra, HCL, we might see some continued reaction on IT today. There you have it, Nifty with a downtick, down about 0.5% as anticipated in the pre-open right now. We've got the Nifty Bank also down about 0.3% on opening ticks. And let's take a look at some of the other key movers and shakers. IT, no respite coming in there. Actually a cool off after last week's move on the back of those Infi numbers and the raise in guidance. Tech Mahindra, however, is responding to earnings. So specifically, Tech Mahindra is moving on the back of results this morning, but the overall IT index looking weak. HDFC Bank on the back of earnings up about 0.5% or so. We've also got some of the other financials moving, like a Shriram, Kotak Mahindra Bank and so forth. Kotak Mahindra Bank is up about 1% this morning, so that one's looking good. And let's pull up a few others as well. ITC, Hindalco, Apollo Hospitals, all of these names are also on the up move. On the downside, Wipro, ICICI Bank is sitting out. Remember, again, post earnings, but right now it's seeing actually a little bit of correction coming in this morning's trade. Well, bullion frenzy. While the markets continue to tread water, silver has hit 3 lakhs a kilo. MCX silver has touched record highs yet again, and it's up about 12,000 rupees now at 3 lakhs a kilo. Remember, all of the global uncertainty is leading to intense demand when it comes to metals, and silver itself also now in fact driving, as it has been, far ahead of gold and hitting 3 lakhs a kilo. MCX gold is also up about 2,000 rupees. It's now at 1.44 lakh rupees. So that's the breaking news this morning for you on gold and silver. Precious metals, as anticipated, continuing to ride the tide and really benefiting. Apart from other industrial factors, clearly safe haven buying coming in there. Okay, we've talked about some of the key earnings. Tech Mahindra, I just want to pull that one up for you as well. Q3 has beat estimates. We've got CC revenue growth at 1.7%. The estimate was 0.6% on Tech Mahindra. That stock's up over 1% right now. Also want to touch about, 2.5% in just a matter of minutes. Tech Mahindra is looking extremely positive. Let's also pull up a Yes Bank. Because recently it's just started to kind of crop up on some brokerage recommendations. Net interest income up about 11%. NIMs have also improved. So clearly Yes Bank is slowly starting to claw back. Not much action on the price this morning, but numbers have been all right. And in other newsmakers, let's just talk about Indigo for a moment and see if the stock is reacting with the 22.2 crore penalty that the DGCA has slapped on Indigo. 50 crore bank guarantee also over December disruptions. I just want to see how the stock is moving today. It's actually up about 3%. Difficult to explain that. But Shell, a whole host of earnings that are not necessarily seeing any major move. I would say perhaps a little bit of a tick in HDFC Bank. Tech Mahindra, IT has reacted to earnings, of course, post Infy's guidance. And inexplicably, Indigo is up 3% today.
Well, I would have a view on why Indigo is up 3% today. Aabha, that's because a lot of fund portfolios, if you track, a lot of mid-cap and small-cap funds have pushed up Indigo amongst its top 5 purchases. Let me just recollect a name which comes in my mind, but let me just get back to you a little later. But we've been talking about is silver the new gold, and all that glitters is gold, both of them proving true to their metal and metal as well. So very, very strong move coming into the commodities as far as precious metals are concerned, and their equity derivatives, which is Hindustan Zinc for silver, which is Manappuram Finance and Muthoot Finance for gold, need to be looked at. Keep an eye out on Titan, that's showing strength, and today's sector could be defense. Look at how Basgaon Dock is moving after a 150-point correction. Today at 2466, BEL in top shape, 414. But broader markets, as Avinash was pointing out, in pain, being pulled down by ICICI, Reliance and HDFC Bank on the Nifty, which is now 98 points lower. So 25,600 is with the bears. 202 points down on the IT index and 175 points down on the Bank Nifty. But metals and metals all the way. Aabha.
Absolutely. In fact, Hind Zinc is looking really good today, about 2-3% higher on Hind Zinc, but we're also seeing a whole host of other counters. I think we've got a net web on earnings that is spiking. So let's pull up a net web for you, almost 11-12%. So we are seeing some bright spots in the broader markets on the back of earnings. But on the heavyweights, Avinash, how do you explain this? Because whether it's HDFC Bank, Reliance or ICICI, and of course brokerages are not changing their views. These are, quality counters. But in terms of earnings, there has been, if we are sort of, speaking that, very directly here, the earnings have been pretty much in line to neutral or just a marginal uptake. There is really nothing too much for the markets to get excited about.
Yeah, exactly, Aabha. I think if you look at even ICICI Bank numbers, numbers were not that great. And I think my sense is that markets should possibly look at the fourth quarter. But I think overall the commentary was good. I think if you talk about Reliance also, Reliance was in line. I think markets were not expecting some big fireworks. But at the end, a 11% move for Reliance on the profit front is not bad considering the base effect. But I think clearly markets would be looking forward for a better number in the fourth quarter. And I think companies like NetWeb Technologies, or for that reason today Hindustan Zinc, I think these are companies where possibly the markets could give them a big thumbs up. Hindustan Zinc, gets almost 25% of its EBITDA from silver, and the way silver prices have gone up, there's no doubt that if you want to buy silver, it's better to bet on Hindustan Zinc. The same applies for gold finance companies. I think Manappuram Finance, Muthoot Finance, the markets are going to be very defensive and very clear on the earnings kind of growth story. So I think you're going to see stock-specific moves happening, but I think overall in the large caps, as you rightly mentioned, market moves are going to be limited because earnings have not been all that great, just neutral or maybe inline stance.
Right. In fact, talking about commentary, and I want to pull up IT because we're seeing such diverse reactions. Remember, we had TCS and HCL, and we didn't have too much of a reaction coming in. All the numbers were pretty decent. Then we had an Infy raise guidance, and that led to a runaway rally in the IT pack. Now we've got Tech Mahindra that's actually reported decent set of earnings and commentary. However, Wipro muted guidance, and the stock is just plummeting this morning. Let's just pull that up for you, and dragging down pretty much the whole IT pack with it, down about 8 to 9% on a Wipro. Markets are not taking to this kindly. There have already been, a lot of concerns around how the IT names will adapt to AI. And now on both soft revenue, muted guidance, we're seeing very, very diverse reactions from brokerages, but also the markets completely seeing a whiplash reaction to Wipro this morning. Avinash, what's your view here?
So I think my sense is that in any case, the December quarter is supposed to be a soft quarter. I think markets are looking forward that the fourth quarter would be slightly better. If you look at performances from TCS or HCL Technologies, definitely numbers have been good. The management commentary has been positive. But I think the markets are looking for some big earnings trigger and some big event to play out. Obviously, the India-US trade deal is something which is very important because a lot of US deals are stuck up in the pipeline. So I think markets are looking at possibly March end if the deal happens. Then I think you could see some sort of growth trajectory coming back. But I think this is a good time to accumulate large cap IT companies, considering the fact that once the US trade deal is completed, I think you're going to see a lot of business coming from the US. So I think we are constructive, but yes, from a long term kind of time frame.
Okay. Just want to mark CG Power. The stock is buzzing on an order win. Bags a 900 crore order from Tatra Grass for a US data center segment. So CG Power, let's pull that up for you. Up about 7% today. Touch of a cool off, was almost up 9% a few minutes ago. Looking really good this morning on the back of that. So just marking that one for you as well. Shell, what else are you tracking?
Well, Aabha Metals, and I would mark National Aluminium in particular. Look at Hindustan Aeronautics. This is something we've marked earlier as well. Plus, there is strength in Jindal SAW, 8% higher at 167. Poonawalla Finance, 4.5% higher. Both these stocks have already traded 100% of their volume in the first 9 minutes of trade. So that's an interesting development. You have UCO Bank 1% higher, Indigo 3.6% higher. Of course, we marked this one. But it's the banks that are pulling down the market. ICICI Bank 2.5% lower. And that's a bit of a breakdown that has happened. Remember, it had closed somewhere like 1410, now at 1373. But PSU banks sort of bringing in strength, and that's what's helping the broader markets. Axis Bank on strength, 1323. The numbers are due yet. And all-time highs, well, Vedant, which we've been marking for a very long time. Emcure Pharma, 1570. And of course, in terms of 52-week highs, you have Bank of India, Canara Bank and PNB. Aabha.
Okay, let us talk about ICICI Bank in a little bit more detail. Avinash, let me get your view in on this and what's really troubling the markets here, because we've been counting on banks to lead the next wave of the rally, but right now it's still looking a little choppy and a little stock specific. They're claiming due to agri provisions and labor law impact largely, but what do you feel about ICICI? What would you have liked to see from the bank, and what's the trajectory going forward?
No, I think the biggest negative surprise for the ICICI Bank numbers was the provisioning number. Last quarter it was about 1700 crores and this time it's 2500 crores. So I think the markets were pleasantly, disappointed in one sense that what were the provisions for and was it a one-off? So I think, if the commentary from the management is saying that possibly, it's going to be a one-off, overall the NIM growth has also not been great, I think, for a bank like ICICI Bank. So I think hopefully now the fourth quarter looks to be expected to be much steady. But I think at these levels, I think it could be fairly priced. So we are saying that somebody who's got a 12 to 15 month time frame can definitely buy into the weakness. But yes, Q3 numbers were not up to expectation, especially from the provision side. So we like to see whether these provisions are a one-off, and that I think will give a little bit of confidence to the market, because this selling is definitely because the Q3 numbers have not met the market expectations.
Absolutely. So, we've been really watching out for earnings season, but now it looks like so far we've been hearing a little bit more about commentary, guidance, but not really seeing too much action on the numbers. In the broader markets, there have been some bright spots like a NetWeb today, but equally there have been those that have been hammered on any kind of miss on earnings. So it's looking very dicey, and at this point of time, I think clearly with the global picture being the way it is, the mood is cautious, and the markets continue to be incredibly volatile. So hang in there. We'll of course bring you more updates at 3 p.m. For market closing. Avinash, Shell, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Quiet start to the Nifty, down about 0.5% as anticipated. Key earnings disappointing, and so far it's really all eyes on perhaps some kind of global trigger coming in. Thanks for watching.
The world's most powerful double engine coverage, where access meets expertise. Davos Brainstorm, 19th to 23rd January. Only on India Today and Business Today.
From how the markets move today to what's setting the stage for tomorrow. From tariffs to taxes, mutual funds to your daily stock queries. Join me as I decode the biggest wealth-creating ideas for you at the closing bell. Watch me as I bring to you the Business Today show every weekday at 3 p.m. only on India Today.
The world's most powerful double engine coverage, where access meets expertise. Davos Brainstorm, 19th to 23rd January. Only on India Today and Business Today.